Shalom, shalom, Yasha Allah. This is a brief, should be a brief Shabbat lesson. The title of it is The Righteous Order. The Righteous Order. And this should be brief. I'm going to start out with 2 Timothy, 3rd chapter and the 16th verse. We all should be familiar with. All right. It reads, all scripture is given by inspiration of Yahweh and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction and righteousness, that the man of Yahweh may be perfect, truly furnished unto all good works. Shalom. Right? So, just letting you know, that's where I'm coming from. And let's get started. Like I said, it's going to be brief. Let's go through precepts. That's all. So, the righteous order. What is the righteous order? Let's read. Who the man called to do this work? Who the man called? All throughout the Bible. Who the Most High called? Salaki. I meant this. Who the Most High called? Yahweh called men. The men of Yasha Allah. Right? The men of Yasha Allah. So let's go Proverbs real quick. All those who know where I'm going. All right? Proverbs 8 chapter and the 4th verse reads, unto you, O men, I call, and my voice is to the sons of men. Right? It says, unto you, O men, I call, and my voice is to the sons of men. Right? So that's who the Most High called, man, men. And he also said, and I'm going to get that real quick, 1 Samuel, for all those who may feel some kind of way, let's remember what the Most High said about rebellion. 1 Samuel 15:23 reads, for rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry. Because thou hast rejected the word of Yahweh, he hath also rejected thee from being king. And that goes for, guess what? Any man that goes contrary to the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High. How about that? And that's how he look at you. It wasn't just for that one king, wasn't just for King Saul. It was for any man. And that goes for any men of Israel that's rebellious against his laws, statutes, commandments. Right? As a matter of fact, while I'm on it, let's just go to Isaiah. In that same spirit, let's go to Isaiah real quick. Let's go to Isaiah. All those who know. 8th chapter and the Salakia. Isaiah. I thought I was in Isaiah. Wasn't. Isaiah 8th chapter. And the 20th verse reads, to the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them, meaning no truth. Right? Real quick, let's go to Psalms. Psalms 1, y'all know it. Psalms 142, I think it is. No, Psalms 119, Salaki. Psalms 119. And the 142nd verse. He said, thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. You see? He said, thy law is the truth. So we got to remember that and remember the righteous order, man. So with that being said, let's go to 1 Timothy. And 1 Timothy. Matter of fact, before I go there, let's go to Ezekiel. Let's go to Ezekiel. One more in Ezekiel. One more of those precepts in Ezekiel. We'll go to Ezekiel. Ezekiel It's the 34th chapter. All those who know. 34th chapter and the 31st verse reads, "And ye, my flock, the flock of my pasture, are men." I'm going to read that again. "And ye, my flock, the flock of my pasture, are men, and I am your power, saith Yahweh." You see? He called men. And from there, let's go to, now we can go to 1 Timothy. Let's go to 1 Timothy. First Timothy, 2nd chapter. And 1 Timothy, 2nd chapter. And we're going to start at the 11th. And then we're going to start at the 11th verse. "Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection." Right? This is the Apostle Paul speaking to Timothy. He said, "Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection. But I suffer not a woman to teach." Uh-oh. He said, "But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence." So there ain't supposed to be no, women teachers. Just like there ain't supposed to be no women so-called herself a prophetess, right? The only, and let me get this straight. The only time there was an exception, and we just did what? I finished up 2 days of Purim, and we read the whole book of Esther, right? So the only one who was given exception was Esther in the Bible when you read it. And the only reason that was because the Most High used her because because we were in captivity, and was also to appease the king and to get things done on behalf of the nation of Israel. Because like I said, we were in captivity under the Persians. Remember the Persian and the Mede dynasty? Empire, rather? Same thing. So the Most High had to use Esther and use her beauty to appease the king and to get revenge on these Edomites through, what was the Edomite name? The Amalekite, the Khazar. Today we call the Khazar. But he had to use him to get revenge on the nation and all the nations that was around about. The Most High used her beauty, and she took the place of Queen Vashti. So Esther was a king and set up for that, temporarily for that purpose, for the Most High to use her on behalf of our nation, Yasharahla. Now there was the flip side of that. There was another wicked, not wicked, but another queen. But this queen was wicked. This queen, Jezebel, was Ahab's wife, and also this queen was a heathen. She was a Hamite, a so-called African today. Jezebel was wicked, and she was killing the prophets. So the Most High prophesied, and what was it? 2 Kings. I have it down. Give me a minute. I have it somewhere. Yeah, 2 Kings. It was in 2 Kings, the 9th chapter, and in the 10th chapter. But you can read 8, 9, and 10 of 2 Kings. You get the story of Ahab and the Jezebel wife, which was killing the prophets. Now she was wicked, and those were the only 2 times. And she was of another nation, the so-called Africa. And then you read the story. They was into idol worship, and Baal. Ahab was into Baal worship. So yeah, the Most High had to get revenge because she was killing the prophets. So y'all can get that story on your own, read that. But the only one that was queen that was righteous was Esther. And like I said, she was used temporarily to get a revenge on the nations. When you read the story of Purim in English, or Purim in Hebrew, right? So the next precept I want to get into is 1 Corinthians. First Corinthians 1 Corinthians 14 chapter. 1 Corinthians 14 chapter. Let me pan a little bit because I'm so used to seeing my. Okay. 1 Corinthians 14 chapter and the 34th verse reads, "Let your women keep silence in the churches, for it is not permitted unto them to speak, but they are commanded to be under obedience, as also saith the law. And if they will learn anything, let them ask their husbands at home, for it is a shame for a woman to speak in a church." Okay? That's the word of the Most High. So I don't matter how much you know, how much history you know. Nah, there's a righteous order, man. Righteous order. You don't supposed to be putting them up on different platforms, social media, and trying to be seen and heard. No. Because it's a shameful thing, man. He says in the 35th verse, it's a shameful thing. But some men ain't learned. Some men don't know. So that's why I got to do these brief lessons like that. 1 Corinthians. Now we're going to go from in Corinthians. We're going to go back a few chapters. 1 Corinthians 11 chapter. Let's see what it says. Apostle Paul speaking again. So you know this was a serious thing. You see how Apostle Paul had to keep stressing this, right? You see? 1 Corinthians 11 chapter and the first verse reads, "Be ye followers of me, even as I also am of Hamashiach Yahushua. Now I praise you, brethren, that ye remember me in all things, and keep the ordinances as I delivered them to you." What are the ordinances? The laws, right? It says, I'm going to read it again. "Now I praise you, brethren, that ye remember me in all things, and keep the ordinances as I delivered them to you. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Hamashiach Yahushua, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Hamashiach Yahushua is Yahweh." Simple and plain. Okay? From there, let's go to Jeremiah. It's going to be brief, like I said. Jeremiah. Let's go to the book of Jeremiah. The book of Jeremiah, the 9th chapter, and we're going to go down to the 20th verse. Read the 20th verse. It reads, "Yet hear the word of Yahweh, O ye women, and let your ear receive the word of his mouth, and teach your daughters wailing, and every one her neighbor lamentation." Right? So you're supposed to teach, the women supposed to teach the daughters of Yasha'Allah and the children, right? You're supposed to teach your daughters and the children. That's a righteous order. So that's the order of the Most High. So here it's showing you how to lamentation and showing you how to weep. And the Most High is giving this order to the women through the prophet Jeremiah. All right, when you read up, you hear a mention of how ye. Yeah, because it's a judgment coming down. But staying in concept of what I'm teaching is the woman. The women are to teach the young daughters, the young women. The elder women are to teach the younger women. As a matter of fact, while I was in Jeremiah 9:20, let's go to Titus real quick. Further go into that. Because I said a statement, so I might as well go ahead and finish and prove that. So let's go to the book of Titus. Book of Titus, 2nd chapter. And the 3rd verse reads, "The aged woman likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness, not false accusers, not given to much wine, teachers of good things." You see that? Not given to much wine. Because you got a lot of drunk women. You always talk about the men. You got some drunk women. They can't handle liquor. They can't handle wine. That's why, see, if it happened back then, you know it's happening now. That's a fact. Right? So the 4th verse reads, that ye, Slakia, 4th verse reads, that they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children. How about that? To love their children. To be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husbands, that the word of Yahweh be not blasphemed. So there's an order, man. There's a righteous order, and there's blessings when a woman carries herself in righteousness and in righteous order. So you don't usurp authority of your man. You let the man do the teaching. You keep silent. Get it? So this is a serious thing, man. Do I need to go to, no, I'm not going to do that now. But matter of fact, last precept, because I said I was going to keep it brief. So let's go to Revelation. Because we know the earth is under evil vibration. But those are part of the remnant Yasha'Allah. You know better. So as the saying goes, when you know better, do better. But you know that's not always the case. But there's also consequences when you don't with the Most High. How about that? So let's go to Revelation. And when things established in order through Hamashiach Yahweh when he returned, this is going to be the end result. Revelation's 21st chapter. And let's read the 3rd verse. "And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, Behold, the tabernacle of Yahweh is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people. And Yahweh himself shall be with them, and be their power." So it says, the tabernacle, meaning the tents of Yahweh, is with men. And tabernacle also represents dwelling. So when you read that, it says, "Behold, the tabernacle of Yahweh is with men." And that's when he's going to establish things in righteousness. And he's going to establish with who? The men of Yasha'Allah. And with that, I'm going to say Shalom. Have a blessed Sabbath. Ashar Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom. Shalom Yasha'Allah. Till next time.